hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene. Hodi yeno be hajo na sha wana hene, hajo wana he hajo na sha wana hene, hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hodi yeno be hajo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hajo wana sha wana hene, hajo wana he hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana he hayo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hayo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hayo wana he hajo wana hene yo we, hayo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana he hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hake hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hake hajo wana he ana hene yo we. Hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, be hayo wana hene, hayo wana he hayo wana hene, na he ana hayo wana he na yo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana he ana hene yo we, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hajo na sha wana hene, hajo wana he hajo na sha wana hene, hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hodi yeno be hajo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hajo wana sha wana hene, hajo wana he hajo wana he ana hene yo we, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana hene, hayo wana he hayo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hayo wana he hajo wana hene, na he ana hayo wana he hajo wana hene yo we, hayo wana hene, hajo wana hene, hajo wana he hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hake hajo wana he hajo wana hene, hodi yeno be hake hajo wana he ana hene yo we.
We dare not talk of the darkness, for fear it will infect us. We dare not talk of the fire, for fear it will destroy us. And so we live in the half-light, like our mothers before us. Come to the fire, feel it warm your skin. Come to the fire, feel it burn in your belly, shine out through your eyes. Come dance in the fire, let it fuel your prayers. Welcome, magical ones. How are we all? Drop me a heart to let me know you're here. This is an interactive circle, so please do share. Please do feel welcome, and let me know that you can hear me. I think we're on a little bit of a time delay, so I'll give you a few moments to that. That was by Lucy Pierce, which was a really beautiful way to open tonight's circle, it felt. So welcome, and to this immersive circle experience, which is intentionally timed just on the lead up to full moon, for you to be able to powerfully release all that is in the way of you journeying more deeply into your soul. So today we are here to explore how to know if you are ready for soul, self-love and magic, especially when you think you're not. So hello, welcome Diane. Gorgeous to have you here. Let me know who else is here. I know there's a few people watching on the replay, but it's always gorgeous to just feel the energy here in the group. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm just looking at your comments. So hi Debbie, and welcome to all of you. And the biggest paradox, it feels, of choosing soul, self-love and magic is that you almost need to be initiated into the path in order to be able to begin to choose it. So my intention today is to lovingly hold you and guide you beyond all the fear that arises into your heart and soul. Hi Sarah, hi Beth, hi Maxine. Oh, gorgeous to have you with us. And let's dive in. So today I am really feeling the desire for a deeply nurturing circle space today. I'm on my bleed, so I'm creating this as an intentionally nurturing space of love tonight. And as I was creating this circle this week, I had this kind of wave of emotions, and as ever, the creation of this circle came with its own material for my liberation and even deeper choosing into the path of soul, self-love and magic for myself. Magically, it often feels the way that what I'm teaching has its own lessons for me, so I'm always deeply appreciative of that. Debbie says I'm not sure how interactive I'll be, but we'll try my best. That's absolutely fine. Dedication for being here, really beautiful devotion. So gorgeous. So I just really, as I was feeling into what I was going to share tonight, I had this real deep sense of just how profound this journey has been for me into the path, and just kind of washed over with this sense of, I can't be a woman anymore who doesn't choose this more and more deeply, what I desire, what my soul desires. It really requires differently of me to create what it is that's my soul's vision. And so I just saw how profound what we are here to explore today is, that art of learning to choose ourselves, of really choosing to love ourselves despite the fears that arise in us doing so. And that's our theme today. I'm going to go into that a little more in a moment, but I just have this huge appreciation for you all for showing up even to tonight to just be here. And that in itself is a testament to the power that is in you awaiting activation, and that deep sense of how deeply appreciative I was to have also had a guide for myself when I was where you are. So just wanted to speak to that first before we go in deeper. And this is, as ever, an interactive circle. So please do ask questions, share your intentions, share your comments, so that I can respond to you. We can share fully with all of our sisters here. And your own questions, doubts and fears will likely be medicine for everyone, as well as yourself. So all is welcome here. You're welcome to share, all of you. And again, really important for me to share just how intentional this is as the first part of the journey. So I often say manifesting with the moon. This isn't just nice to have witch play for full moon, this circle is a super intentional, live immersive experience in which I'm sharing with you really a deep taster. It's really the very first week of Invoke Your Wild Creatrix, which is our crucible that is coming up at the end of April, which guides you more lovingly deeper into soul, self-love and magic if you choose that. And I'm sharing everything I possibly can about the very first step of Creatrix, and then if you want to go deeper, I will share more about what's possible there at the end, how to deepen. But it's important to know really that this is really deep, powerful, real magical technology. It's not a one-off random creation. This is being created specifically with you in mind, because one of the things that I see my women struggling with most is that choosing into the path in the first place, because we aren't taught how to choose things that feel scary, even when they are good for our souls. So I just really wanted to speak directly to the fears, the objections, the challenges that my women often face as they begin to hear and feel that call to soul in their bodies, and as they doubt the possibility of it for them in every way, especially their capacity to choose it. So there are some common objections, like thinking that we aren't enough. My women will often think they aren't enough. They will often think they haven't got time, they haven't got energy, they haven't got space, that now isn't the right time. That they often feel some resistance. I had that earlier today, actually, some real resistance to the idea of being a witch, the idea of resistance to making that investment in themselves, and the idea that it's too indulgent to say yes to what's in our hearts, as well as a couple of others. What if I get it wrong? I don't know how to be a witch. That also came up in our group today. And the feeling of needing approval. People think I'm weird if I dive into soul, and what if I can't do it? So there's lots of fears. The seagrass secret witches often feel a deep call to tread into the path of soul, self-love and magic, and yet they also feel that they're not ready to choose themselves, and all of these things have this deeper fear underlying them, and yet it couldn't be further from the truth. So my intention for today's circle really is to help you first and foremost open into choosing to say yes to yourself in whatever that looks like, and to really speak to all of your hearts, to love you deeply in your fears, objections, challenges, so that you can begin to see the possibility for yourself to learn to love and choose yourself. To illuminate why, when you don't feel ready for soul, self-love and magic, it's actually the very exact reason that you are ready. Paradoxically, when you resist the path, it's actually a deeper call for love that the path will initiate you into. And the final intention and my vision for today's circle is for you to be able to open your heart, to create the courage to choose to deepen into your own journey of soul, self-love and magic, if it is aligned for you to do so. So I would love to know what your intentions are. So I'm just going to give you a moment. It's so powerful to set your intentions for being in circle, and to witness each other's shares in the comments as well. And also feel free to share what fears have been coming up for you as you've been feeling that call in your heart to go deeper, I'll be lovingly guiding you into tending these. So Maxine says to learn. That is always a good intention. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Anything specifically you would like to learn, Maxine? Or just open, just feeling open. Any others? Just give it a few moments, because I think we are on a slight delay, just in case there's any other intentions specifically. Maxine, how to be me. Oh yes, how just to be me. Soul, absolutely. Gorgeous. Right, well, any more, just keep them coming in. I'll check back in a moment to see whether there's any more, but again, just to let you know that in this space all of you is welcome, and the parts of you that don't feel good enough to be here. That includes the parts of you that don't feel worthy of allowing yourself to embody soul, self-love and magic. The parts of you that don't think you are powerful enough, the parts of you that think that you're a newbie and you don't know what to do, the parts of you that feel that they have to put everyone else first because you seek approval, the parts of you that feel this path is a luxury rather than a necessity, the parts of you that feel that you've not got time, you've not got energy or space to be here, that feel that now isn't the right time, the parts of you that think that you have to do this alone, the parts of you that are scared that the investment in beginning to tread the path is too much, you're not worthy of it. The parts of you that feel the path of soul, self-love and magic is indulgent. The parts of you that feel that you don't know if you're enough to be a witch or to embrace magic, or that you're the one person that it's not available for. Parts of you that are scared that people will think you're weird, the parts of you that think you will get it wrong. And also, of course, the parts of you that are excited for the possibility of creating a life that's different, filled with soul, self-love and magic. And the parts of you that will expand in this circle tonight to see that it is possible for you to choose. So I'm just going to have a little read because there's some more intentions coming in. So Beth says to be guided. Debbie, to be the old Debbie that I used to be. Interesting. Bless you. And I would love to hear more on what that looks like. And Sarah says to be present and to open up, knowing that all of me is welcome. You totally blasted my big fear earlier on a post you did, money. Oh yes, juicy one. Fear of lack and guilt over spending it on myself. Yeah, beautifully seen. So hopefully also, given that I've just talked to all is welcome, you are seeing that all of you really is welcome. Yeah, beautiful. And so tonight I'm going to be guiding you deeper into your wild creatrix, into that part of you that can see that soul, self-love and magic is possible for you to choose to life, that kind of loving, conscious creation from soul. So the wild creatrix is really part of, I think we've it's connecting live video, so I'm not sure if you've still got me. Let me just, I think we're back. Okay. so yeah, I was just saying the wild creatrix is, maybe I'll just wait and see if we are actually back. One moment. Leave me a comment if you can, hear me. Okay, I think we're back. I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, the wild creatrix is really part of the witch, and you are all here because you resonate with the witch, or maybe you have a deeper resistance to the witch as well, which is a common objection of my women. So if you are feeling this deep resistance to her, or a deep resonance even as well, because it can show up in both ways, either complete resistance or complete resonance, then know that this very resistance is actually a sign that she holds some medicinal gold here for you. And our gifts are really held in our wombs. So that is your first bit of medicine tonight. It still looks like I'm frozen, so let me just double check. That you can actually still see me. I'm just going to have a look in the group, see what's going on. Okay, I think you can still hear me, so I'm just going to keep talking. So yeah, the creatrix aspect of the witch is really an energetic archetypal lens to view yourself through. Okay, perfect. Maxine says she can hear us, so we're all good. So she is an energetic archetypal lens to view yourself through. She's the part of you that is here to activate and reflect the parts of you that kind of shut down soul, self-love and magic, that shut down the possibility that you feel in your hearts, in your dreams, your vision, with the lack of love that you've been kind of providing yourself, that kind of really pushing away of love and allowing your heart to lead. So the deep invitation tonight is to learn how to devote to and choose yourself, even and especially if you think you can't, and even and especially if you feel resistance to that. So again, often my women will think that they can't do it, they're not enough, they're not powerful, it's not possible for them. And that kind of is what I would describe as this kind of creative tension, this thinking that you can't, is this creative tension where you might feel unsure right now how it looks to choose yourself. And through the journey, that will all become clearer. But we often have to take that leap of loving ourselves enough to choose to learn how. And so the very fact that you're even here, the very fact that you don't think that you're ready, and the very fact that you're here anyway, is the exact sign that you are both being called by the path of soul, self-love and magic, and paradoxically why it is exactly the medicine you need to guide you back into your heart instead of your head. And so even more deeply, that is why I know you're ready, and a part of your soul has been activated. So again, the typical signs to know if you're ready for soul magic and self-love are usually that soul magic and self-love have been lacking in your lives. But we only notice things that we lack if we are meant to have them in our lives as well. This is something I really saw around joy, was that joy was almost part of my essence, and the fact that at times in the past it had been missing really meant that it was meant to be there. So usually my women haven't been loving to themselves. They usually end up kind of back of the queue and spend a lot of time beating themselves up with ideas of self-love being indulgent, shameful, like we talked about. They've likely ignored and suppressed their own needs and desires to gain love, approval and safety from others. There's this idea that they need to stay safe and not allow their truth. And they often feel unheard, unseen, burdened and burned out, kind of at the mercy of life and trapped in this kind of mundane life of pleasing everyone, and often feel quite misunderstood as well. And they will really numb their body's calls. So even if they do get those nudges that the path of soul and magic is for them, they often don't love themselves enough to choose to listen, and they may kind of teeter on the edge of choosing themselves, and often that is where they will stay until that becomes impossible. And yeah, they may criticize their bodies for not keeping up with the fast pace of life, and they often doubt themselves and feel unworthy and kind of suffer from imposter syndrome, and all the shame that they feel about that keeps them feeling small. Yet usually if they listen in, they have some deep yearning for more magic, even if that just initially feels like a desire to feel better, and even if it feels impossible. And so all of this is a sign that you are ready for soul, self-love and magic, and paradoxically all of these things are what will make it difficult to choose soul, self-love and magic as well. So if this is you, then this is exactly what you need to help you to overcome this and create what it is that you want to create. And another thing that often comes up for my women is almost they will arrive at my door almost thinking that they already need to be a creatrix to deepen into their soul path, that they already need to know, which paradoxically is again what they are here to learn. They're here first and foremost to be initiated into the path by choosing themselves. And it's likely that you all have fears about that path, especially one of the biggest is the fact that my women often feel they don't have time, space, money or energy. And yet what they can't see, and completely innocently, it's kind of a deep wounding as a witch, is that they are literally here to learn how to let their hearts lead, to let their souls have a say, instead of letting their heads keep them in this fear that's stopping them choosing to keep walking the path. And again, as you keep walking, that is going to be what is created differently. And again, all of these fears are exactly because of the fact that you are a witch, a creatrix, and yet you'll doubt that because you're a witch too. So again, the reason I know this is because magical ones, and especially witches, feel these exact fears. These are fears that I have felt myself. These fears of not being enough, that you can't do it and can't let yourselves be yourselves. All of these are kind of innocent, understandable aspects of the witch wounds. And if you're here to be a witch, whether that's a whichever aspect of the witch that is, a creatrix, a medicine woman, a feminine mystery, feminine power, and a queen witch, all of the aspects of the witch that the path of soul kind of guides you into, that will be the very thing you fear. And witches especially fear being their truth. It's kind of the very thing that will take them into that fear of being rejected, which really is all the ways that they reject themselves. So all of these fears have some kind of link back to the witch wounds. Our ancestors were literally burned at the stake for being who they were. And so these fears that you are feeling, those I'm not ready, that you feel kind of tightening in your chest, is really your body remembering the fears of the witch wound. And this is real, it's inbuilt into our DNA, and it's why our bodies don't feel safe being powerful and magical. And these fears come up, like, how do I choose to be myself in this world? Because of the fact that so many women, so many magical ones, were literally killed for being themselves and for being powerful and magical. And that made it extremely hard for witches and magical ones to choose to love themselves as they were, and to choose living their soul will and being their magic. And having said all of that, it's as understandable as these fears are, it's also important to remember that that's not happening anymore. You are not going to be burned at the stake anymore for being who you are. It is time to come back to the reality of where we are now, and there are still those wounds, but the deeper invitation here is to love yourself in all of the innocent fears that arise in the face of choosing into being who we came here to be. All of the fears that we've talked about, they're often a distraction from our path, from who we've come here to be, and it is costing you in ways far beyond time and money. It's taking your energy, it's taking your energy suppressing who you are, but it's like living a half life, and it's really having you sacrifice your heart and keep yourself small and staying in that fear instead of opening and expanding into who you've come here to be. And you came here for more. You came here for magic. You came here for soul, and you came here to live from love rather than fear. You came here to be your gift in the world, to express this in this body. If you are a witch, this is your birthright. Magic is literally in your DNA. It's in your cells, just as it is in mine. And so the work here for all of us is to, and I say all of us because my work isn't complete. This is a lifetime's work, but yeah, it's really our body, our cells. They just want to know that it is safe for us to choose ourselves, and your mind will throw every fear at that it possibly can. So if I didn't help you today, first and foremost, as the first step to choose into loving yourself first, I'd be doing you a disservice. So that is what today and this path is about. And the fact that you are here listening is a sure sign that you're being called here to be your full witchy self and honour your soul and magic. And if all you take away from this today is learning how to hold and love yourself in that fear, in being in that intensity of opening and choosing out of the conditioning that we can't choose something unless it feels good, that on its own will be so powerful, so transformative for you. So I'm going to share a little bit of my own journey now, just to put that into some kind of practical concept for you. So I remember when I first began to walk this path, I certainly couldn't see that everything was a choice, especially the stuff that felt really hard to choose. I'd been taught really to only follow what felt easy, especially coming from a very spiritual path, which was all about kind of ascending from the body, and that was very ignoring the body was kind of the easy way, the easy option. And so Wild Creatrix's first initiation for me was because I felt all the same fears that you're likely feeling now, as if I wasn't capable enough, particularly around creating the investment, which is what I shared on earlier. I felt like I wasn't worthy of spending the money or time on myself. I felt like I was that one person that magic just wasn't available for, that I'd be seen as weird, that I'd be seen as selfish for going after my dreams and allowing my soul to express. And also, as well as that, everything had kind of always gone wrong in my life, whether it was something big like a traumatic birth or a divorce, or my dad leaving when I was young, or some small drama like kind of arguing with my mum and dad or my partner, or things breaking accidentally or crashing my car. There was always some drama that I was creating. And yet at the same time, I also had small glimpses of how I was a powerful creatrix that could sometimes create things my way without much effort at all. And I distinctly remember manifesting some mince pies after really desiring mince pies. I just got given a bag full of them, which is so random. And then even bigger things like a free laptop and a bed worth £3,000, and so I'd have some quite significant evidence at times of creating things, and yet despite that I kind of discounted all of that magic, and I was really unkind to myself and really didn't believe that I could create a magical life. What I wanted deeply was to lead a solo business, but it felt really impossible. And yet here I am now doing just that, just from being myself. And that, I say just from being myself, that again is my deeper work, to really allow myself to fully express, she says, wearing a crown. And I just wasn't, at the time when I started to descend into soul, I just really wasn't being the person who felt like a leader. I didn't feel like a leader. I didn't feel like someone who would run a business. I spent much of my time, as I said, running from one disaster to another, running around tidying the house to make sure it looked perfect. I would collapse in fear at the idea of creating childcare or hiring a team, or even healing the anxiety that I felt at times, or healing my paralysed face. And I created a lot of ill health to distract myself away from my vision. All of this was unconscious. So I really thought that I wasn't powerful. I really thought that I wasn't here for a life of soul and magic. And I also thought that I couldn't choose to focus on myself, and that was really indulgent. And still, somewhere deep down within me, I had this burning desire to make a difference in the world, and to, I had this sense that I was here for more. My soul was here to create more magic, and it was literally burning me up inside that I wasn't creating that. So for a while I chased peace, and I didn't even think that peace was possible, let alone magic. I just really wanted to be okay. But there was also this kind of yearning for magic as well. And I think my own biggest fear at the time of entering the path was the investment. I felt that I couldn't create the money that I would spend on myself. I didn't even see it as an investment. I couldn't link that the path of soul and magic was what would have me transform into the woman who could hold all of this, who could create money. Almost I had the story that you could either have money or you could have soul. And it was actually beautiful. One of my one-to-one clients the other day said that they had watched a video of me from when I was pregnant a couple of years ago, and just how different I had seemed in that video compared to now. And I keep meaning to go back and watch it, because it really is testament to how me kind of walking the path of soul and being initiated by all the aspects of the witch, how they have all really worked their magic with me, because I've seen deeper and deeper how, despite all of the fears that I wasn't ready for soul, self-love and magic, paradoxically these fears meant that I was exactly ready for that, because living from soul really is the only way to create magic, and love is required in order to hold us through all of the fears that arise in doing that. So this path of soul has had me heal deeply. I managed to heal my paralysed face that I was told by top doctors in London that I wouldn't be able to heal. And now I've created the magical solo business that I longed for. I am, able to lead in a much more powerful way. And as I said, my work isn't complete. This is the work of soul, but I am creating magic in ways that I just didn't think were possible when I started walking this path. And it really was that kind of leap of faith. And even this week, the way that I create Wild Creatrix and create all my crucibles is always magically. In fact, the way I create everything is much more magical these days. So this week, I invited my dream self to create tonight's circle. So it's just one of the many ways that Wild Creatrix has us save time magically, is by calling in our dream self to create things for us. And so my dream self guided me to teach tonight. I had a dream about something, I can't remember what it was now, but it was all about choosing yourself. So this is why I am even talking to you about that as well. And then Creatrix initiated me even deeper. So I had created last week a really busy week where I found myself really leaning back towards that kind of secret witchy temptation. When I say secret witch, I mean a woman who doesn't know her power and magic. So I can really descend back into my secret witch. And last week I was kind of leaning back into that temptation to create this from her. And to create kind of from fear and ideas that I didn't have time, energy, space, I wasn't able to create from the feminine, from my queen witch, the powerful magical part of me. And luckily I saw it, and I'd been kind of heading back into a non-magical, masculine, burdened way of creating from logic, when I was actually devoted to creating from soul, magic and love. And I thought to myself over the weekend that to expand even deeper into my own vision, and I talked a little bit to this right at the beginning, that I now need to choose to devote deeper, to choose myself on another level deeper. And I found myself thinking, I just can't continue to be this woman anymore who is not choosing herself. So my bigger dreams require me to show up and be different. I have to choose in fully. I can't be this person that doesn't choose that anymore, no matter what life throws at me. So I chose to devote to creating this circle by going for a wild wonder. Which is another way that the Creatrix has me create. Rather than sitting at my desk, this is the old way that I would have created. I would have sat at my desk, kind of hashing everything out. And of course, as soon as I'd chosen that, I had what I call material for liberation come in. So this was distractions, kind of huge triggers, fear, all of it. Just before I was going to go for my walk, all of it came in. And I realised this again was me having to choose to be my own medicine. My secret witch would have chosen out of that walk if I had allowed her to, with ideas of, I've not got time, this always happens to me. And instead I just really saw, like, I am being called to choose. I am being called into a choice. I can either choose to love myself and lean into trusting that path of soul and magic even deeper, or I can choose to stay as I am and create the same way that I'd always created. And it was uncomfortable. It was scary. It was actually terrifying to choose to go for a walk and not sit at my desk, kind of creating this backup plan for what I was going to talk to you about. And so choosing out of the ideas that I hadn't got time, instead of kind of fixing all the chaos that was coming up, that yeah, that was really scary. But the only way to create my vision was to choose to go for a walk, to live from soul, to be loving to myself, to create from magic. And so I had to devote even more deeply to choosing myself. And I saw that if I didn't, the world wouldn't change unless I did. And only I can choose a life of soul, self-love and magic. And if I don't, that will cost me in ways that I'm just not available for anymore. I'm not available for anything less than a life of soul, self-love and magic. That is what I'm devoted to. And I did not feel ready, but I went to my tree out in the wild, which is my witches or my creatrix's sit spot, which I'm going to recommend as a practice at the end for you later. And despite not feeling ready to, I chose myself, and I chose to love myself enough to create in this way, to create from soul, to lean into trust despite all the fear that was coming in and begging me not to. And from there, magic was created, because by that I mean at the time I had absolutely no idea what I was going to share today, other than choosing yourself. That was all I got. My dream self had said choose yourself, and I talked about it with my my own soul guide. And I knew that to create this, it was going to require me to create in a different way. So magically, of course, in that devotion to myself, I realized that this event had created itself, in that the part of my journey to share was this story, and this story about me choosing myself deeper. And this is how magic works, because in leaning into our hearts, into the unknown, magically life does get created differently. And really the lesson was that magic is all around us, just waiting for us to choose it. And when I saw that, I just sobbed. I got really emotional, because I realized just how much it had taken for me to choose this differently, and that this was so powerful for you to witness as well, because it is exactly the same thing that is required of you. If you really do desire to live a life of soul, self-love and magic, to kind of honor what is burning as desire within you, whether that's to feel okay, or whether that's to feel better, or it's to create juicy, alive joy, whatever it is, it's this choosing of ourselves, even if that's giving ourselves a 15-minute break, or choosing to love ourselves deeply in the fear of leaning more deeply into the path, into learning more about it. It's that kind of choosing of ourselves that is what has us able to create a life of soul, magic and love. And this is the most important thing, is that this whole journey is about learning to love ourselves through the fear, because that is really what's required to choose from soul and magic, to choose to say yes to ourselves, to love ourselves through the fear, even though we're called by fear. So the first invitation is for you to be able to begin to notice where you're creating from, the real questions are, where is our heart and soul trying to lead us that we're letting our head overrule? Where are we pushing our dreams to the bottom of the pile because of these fears? And one of the most important questions that I've seen again through walking this path is, how much longer are you willing to choose to stay where you are right now? And what are the deeper costs of that? So we're going to be exploring that. We're going to go into a little meditation shortly. But the first invitation for you really is to notice that there will be all sorts of distractions, all sorts of fears, all sorts of challenges, all sorts of self-doubts and anxieties that will make you feel that you are not ready. And it's totally understandable that these are kind of, put in the way of choosing to go deeper. And yet the very fact that you're here suggests that your deeper desire is to create life from soul and magic, which also means that you're here for it. You wouldn't be given what you couldn't handle, and this is who you are. So yes, you may doubt your capacity for it, you may fear it, you may see it as challenging, and that is likely what has you choose out unconsciously, because you've been conditioned. It's a cultural thing to run from the fire, and also it's literally inbuilt into our DNA as witches to run from the fire. And yet you are here for it. So as Lucy says in Burning Woman, they've got a little quote from her book here. It says, "This path is for you if you have ever thought, I long to burn brightly, but I mustn't. I'm too afraid, too old, too young, too busy. I don't know how. I'd lose my job, my husband would divorce me, my mother would disown me, my friends would laugh. This is for you, dearest one. You are more powerful than you dare believe. This is for you, burning woman. Arise." And I love that. I just love that quote, because there is a new way available, a way of saying yes to choosing yourself and loving yourself through all of the fear. And this will require you to learn how to tend your wounds, to hold and love yourself, and it will take making heart-centered choices rather than fear-based logical ones. And it will take believing in magic, another thing that often the secret witch doubts and often feels impossible. But yeah, first and foremost, it requires you to choose yourself through all of the fear and choose that with love. There's a temptation in the secret witch to really beat herself up for not choosing herself, and so again it's coming from love in this. It's a very innocent thing that we've been taught culturally to not choose ourselves, and yet for magical ones it just isn't. It's something that they're not able to do. There's for magical ones especially, this is something that does not suit their souls to not choose themselves. So the very reason that you're here listening is because that's who you are, this is what you've been called to, and this is what you're capable of. And of course, the path of soul will be the path that teaches you everything about loving yourself through the fear, everything about choosing yourself, everything about living from the heart, and everything about creating magically, which is both what you're craving and what you're resisting. So you both want to burn and fear burning all at once, and that is how you know that you are ready. So as one of the women said, she shared a testimonial for Creatrix this week. She said, "Your wild Creatrix shows you a wonderland of possibilities." And really, you just have to choose that despite not knowing how, and allow yourself to unravel. So we're going to go into, that's me done with the teaching. We're going to go into a meditation now. So this is a full moon releasing of you, not choosing yourselves, not feeling able to choose yourselves. We're going to identify what is coming up for you, what your heart is saying about creating from soul and magic. So make yourselves comfy, claim your space. I'm just going to pop some music on, and we'll go into it. So as ever, just really make yourself comfortable. Claim your space. Get blankets. Whatever feels aligned for you to feel nurtured, to feel safe, to feel grounded, and close your eyes. Notice where the edges of your body are in your space. Notice your connection. Maybe placing a hand on your heart, a hand on your womb space, gently nurturing our creative centers and just really checking in, noticing all of the body sensations that are coming up for you as you lie here, just really witnessing for the first time since we've begun our journey tonight. How are you feeling about what's just been shared? Are you feeling tense, tight, irritated, annoyed, fearful? you feeling excited, alive, lit up? Perhaps it's a mixture of both. Just notice what sensations you are feeling in your body. Perhaps you don't tune into those often. As you're doing that, really just relax the space between your eyes, your jaw. Relax your shoulders, your womb, your belly. And just really breathe. Allow yourself to deepen your breathing. Noticing the power you have to soothe your nervous system. When you just tune into your power, what is available for you in choosing to soothe yourself. Just notice what the fears are that have been arising for you as we've been journeying through the idea of choosing yourself. What old stories do you see that commonly come up for you as you think about deepening into soul and magic? And can you see that those fears are pointing you to both your deeper desires for walking the path of soul and loving yourself more deeply, and also calling you to love yourself more deeply? As you lie there, let yourself go on a journey. Begin to notice that you are somehow transported to being in a magical woods. You can see a little path ahead of you. You can hear the noises of the forest. It's a little dark, but there is a light glistening through the trees, the light of the big, beautiful full moon. Smell the wildness of your surroundings. And although it's unusual, you feel really safe, really held, really supported. And so you begin to step tenderly forwards, hearing the crisp snapping of the twigs as you move onwards. This forest is magical. It's filled with noises of exotic birds, all sorts of colours, and you can really feel the energy of it. And a little way away you can hear some women, and it sounds like they're gathered. You can smell the smoke, their incense. You can hear them cackling, laughing, the joy. You can feel the warmth of an inviting fire. As you walk up to a clearing, you begin to see some women gathered there. These women are adorned in all sorts of weird and wonderful clothes. They look creative. They look joyful, they look loving. And they welcome you as if they know you, as if you're one of them. And you feel deeply that all of you is welcome here. Your fullness, your soul, your magic. There's a warm fire burning, connecting them all, and a cauldron where they're mixing potions. They're gathered in ritual, creatrixes. And they beckon to you, inviting you to join them in their circle, a circle of other witches. And you know this is an invitation to say yes to loving and welcoming the parts of you that they are reflecting here. Those parts that you have cast aside for so long. Those parts of you that want to be seen. You close your eyes and you tune in to your heart, your womb space, and you feel a desire to join. You ask yourself, what do I choose? What are the costs and benefits of me choosing to join them around the fire, to saying yes to my heart? You make your choice now. You can either stay where you are or you can sit with them by the fire, and either choice is welcome. You are just perfectly where you need to be. Joined. Notice one woman in particular appears to be your guide, and she welcomes you with love and invites you to sit down. And she asks you some questions which you ponder for a moment before answering instinctively from the heart. Those questions are: what does your heart yearn for? What is your heart saying about a life of soul, self-love and magic? Perhaps you know, or perhaps you don't yet, but the other question is, what are you here to create? Who are you here to be? And you may or may not have answers to those right now. So just lovingly witness where you are in your answering of them. It may just simply be that you can feel this yearning for soul, this yearning for magic. It may be that you're longing to listen to your body more. It may be that you know that you're here to be medicine for the world. Just notice your body sensations. What is coming alive for you? Where are you burning? Offer you the choice to drink a magical potion labelled soul, self-love and magic, and it's been filtered with your heart's deepest longing. Drinking it would enable you to create all of your heart's desires. And you know this journey might be messy or challenging. You also know that if you desire it, it will be inevitable. If you choose it, that you will create your vision. Just notice again your body's sensations. Tend to any fear. Noticing which parts of you need love to be able to choose to love yourself enough to follow your heart. Notice which parts of yourself do you need to consciously and lovingly release with this full moon in order to choose to allow yourself to bathe in soul and magic. Maybe you stroke your body where it wants to be stroked to let your nervous system know that it's safe. Breath, noticing your body's desire. What's the choice in your heart? does your soul long for you to choose? And a deeper question comes up for you. Wonder, how long are you willing to keep choosing to stay as you are? Sudden, you know your decision, and you speak out whatever needs to be released. And if you choose soul and magic, you visualize drinking your potion now with your sisters. And if not, that's okay. The deeper invitation here is to love yourself wherever you are. Just drinking in the feeling. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes, come back and meet your sisters in a circle. I would love to know in the chat what came up for you in that visualization. So I'm going to give you a moment to just let me know, what did your heart choose? And did you take the aligned action in that visualization? Did you drink the drink? Was there something that was revealed to you? Perhaps just a feeling that was revealed. Perhaps a fear. Just going to give you a moment to, let me know what's come up there. And whatever came up was welcome. So I'm just going to give you a few more moments to share your experience. What was released with the full moon? Fear. Teresa says fear. Beautiful. Any specific fear, Teresa? Beautiful. And of course, if you are watching this later on the replay, do please also comment and let us know what has come up for you. Any more sharing of what has come up for you there? And just I'll give you a few moments whilst I wait for you. I'm just going to really speak to just the honouring of you being here tonight, just taking that first aligned action towards soul, making that first choice to even just be here with us, with your sisters, is just really, really powerful. So deeply honouring you for being here. Auntie says warmth and love, wonderful path I'm on already, and yet there's so much more to experience. Gorgeous. Hello, magical one. Sarah says a yearning for deep soul magic, but a fear of letting go of old and familiar ways of being, a fear of chaos. Yeah, so I so deeply hear you in that, Sarah. That is such a big one of mine as well. Thank you for sharing that, and your deep yearning as well. That is a beautiful thing. And yeah, you are so, if you are feeling that yearning, know that you are ready for it. Teresa, people in the world, bless you. Especially men. Yeah. Bless you, darling. Any more to be shared? Yeah, I'm gonna let you continue, and I'm just going to continue so that we can close. I know we've slightly run over time, so I just wanted to really honor you, as I said, for coming here and making that choice to sit with us, be with us in this. This is a really powerful first step for you to have come and done that and chosen into that. So to come here to powerfully claim your capacity to choose to live a life of soul, self-love and magic, to share your heart, takes a really powerful woman. Sarah, I've just seen you said, yet knowing I cannot go back to the numb and mundane. Beautiful. So I hear you on that. It's like a point of no return. So I'm going to invite you now to take a moment to just check in again. Maybe place your hand on your heart, your womb space. Just really check in with your body, with your soul. What is your body feeling about choosing powerfully to continue this journey? What's it saying? Is it ready to embark on the next step in this path, really deepening into the body, into soul, into love, into magic, to really learn how to love yourself enough to choose and allow whatever is there to come through? And if the answer is a yes, and this is something you'd like to now make more a part of your life, then stick around and I'm going to let you know how we can support you on that here at Team Secret Witch. So before I share this with you, I want to make it really clear that another fear is that she has to walk this path alone. And also that can also look like a safer option too. So just to be clear, before I do share this, there is you can absolutely walk this path alone, and you don't need me to be able to walk this path. And that's why I'm going to offer you practices and inquiry for you to continue to deepen, to go and connect with the wild, to take aligned actions for yourself in the direction of soul. And going deeper here into this path in the way that I'm about to invite you into with a guide makes that journey so much easier. I know, because I have experienced both. And it really offers you a space to be loved, to be held in the messiness of it all. And it will also have you collapse time on creating your heart's longings. When we have a guide, we are able to deepen in a much more expansive pace, I guess. But to be clear, it is not required. But if you are feeling a call to go deeper and to be supported in that, so that you can really fully embrace soul, self-love and magic, then the next aligned action for you to choose would be to join us for the rest of Invoke Your Wild Creatrix. And this program means a lot to me. It's the first ever program that I birthed. It's the second round of this magical journey, and it really is those tender first steps, that being held into the initiation of this soulful, loving, magical way of creating. And I'm so excited to be leading another crucible to serve the beautiful women who are going to choose themselves into journeying into soul. And this really is those kind of tender next steps. So within your group of sisters, we'll be gathering around the virtual fire to embark on a 6-week descent into the path of body, soul and magic, basically self-love, body wisdom and conscious creation. So if you join us, you will be consciously choosing to travel deeper into the well of your bodies, to begin to learn to love yourself and to create more consciously and magically from soul, in a really supported way. So you'll be opening your heart to really learning how to love all parts of yourself. It's likely at the moment you're kind of like, I really desire to love myself, but I just still don't know how. So that is what this journey is about. It's really that journey of learning to love all parts of yourself, knowing that all of you is welcome, really tending, healing and grounding into the sanctuary of your body to learn the very basics of creating the safety for you to be able to discover your magic and create life in more soulful ways, which will have you really creating life from the heart. So you'll be sensing into your creatrix, healing your fears, listening to your bodies, learning how to create from soul and magic as you cultivate and learn to cultivate your own safety to be able to dream your heart's desires to life and discover your heart's deepest longings as you learn to listen to the whispers of your soul. So ultimately together we will be rediscovering each of you as the loving, soulful and magical creatrix that you are, the woman who's capable of being who she has come here to be, the woman who lovingly chooses to live the soulful life that she secretly longs for. And we will be exploring and creating around the themes of body wisdom, soul alchemy, love, and conscious manifestation. So we begin on Wednesday, the 27th of April. And if you choose into it, you'll become a woman who feels really in touch with her heart, is growing to learn to love parts of her witchy self that she had previously outcast. A woman who hears and is learning to prioritize that deeply intuitive call of her body's wisdom. A woman who illuminates and allows her soul's deepest, most magical desires to begin to be seen. Who is learning to, her true magical gifts and consciously choosing to dream a bigger vision. And is in the work of embodying her creatrix and learning that she is capable of manifesting her own magical story. So the investment is £111. If you are feeling called, you can roll now, and I'll share the link in the comments after this to my website. In fact, I can probably do it now. And yeah, if you have any questions still about whether the journey is right for you, I am here. So I am more than happy to open up to any questions. If you've got any now, feel free to drop them in the chat and I can speak to them now. There are no silly questions, and often we can sit there thinking, I've got this really burning question, but I'm not going to ask it just in case I look daft. And usually that is that one question that everybody is sitting there thinking. So if you do have questions, do drop them in the chat now and I can speak to those. And then we're going to go into a reading and then we'll complete. But this really was just a taster of Invoke Your Wild Creatrix, and a big part of her journey is also in the inquiries and the practices weekly for you to go deeper between the teaching circles. So I'm going to leave you also with some practices tonight and some inquiries for you to be able to go deeper. So I'm going to share those with you now. If you've got any questions, do write those in and I'll speak to those after. But for now, I'm just going to read these inquiries and practices, and I'll also post them in the comments here as well. But the deeper inquiry is what are the costs and benefits of choosing yourself versus not choosing yourself? And second question is, how much longer are you willing to keep not choosing yourself? And the practice is what I talked to earlier as well. So an aligned action for after circle to deepen is, I'd really recommend going to find your creatrix's sit spot in the wild, and do this by going for a wild wander, really following your belly button, just finding a particular tree that you feel drawn to and sitting there, really tuning into your heart, asking, what is it that my soul longs for? Am I being called to choose a life of soul, self-love and magic? And if so, what is the next aligned action for me? So I will post that in the comments. I'll probably do that after, actually. Yeah, I've just seen there's a question from Sarah, just a practical one of how many sessions and what time on a Wednesday. So Sarah, it's the same time as tonight. And if you've also said, is there a recording? So yeah, it's 6:30 on a Wednesday from the 27th of April for 6 weeks. And there is a recording. So some of my crucibles require women to be there because it's a live sharing and there'll be deeper sharing involved. But Creatrix is very much a teaching circle with this kind of interactive chat kind of function. So yes, very much you are able to miss one if that needs be, or if the time doesn't work for you, that is absolutely fine. There will be a recording, and also there is between the sessions, and this is a really powerful creation. Actually, there is a gorgeous Facebook group with all your sisters. So that is where a majority of the questions and the interaction happens, actually. So yeah, it's all fully supported in the Facebook group as well. So if you can't join us live, that is absolutely fine. And really, really gorgeous questions. So thank you for asking that. So any more questions, feel free to message me after as well. If you are in typical kind of secret fear of not wanting to share that on here, that's absolutely fine. Just message me. And I would also love to know, did your intention get created tonight? And yeah, so let me know what came up for you if you also want to do that. So I'm going to end with a reading. It is time. I am here. For some, she came in a dream. For others, in waking life, words as clear as a bell. She may come in a whisper so loud she can deafen you, or a shout so quiet you strain to hear. She may appear in the waves or the face of the moon, in a red goddess or a crow. The voice of she we were told did not exist. The voice of she we were told not to trust. The voice of she we did not expect, ringing in the darkness, calling you home. Who is she? She is your power, your feminine source, Big Mama, the goddess, the great mystery, the web weaver, the life force. The first time, the 20th time, you may not recognize her or pretend not to hear, as she fills your body with ripples of terror and delight. But when she calls, you will know you've been called. And then it is up to you to decide if you will answer.